Okay, so as I mentioned, tools are going to be an issue at some point in the future. We do have 18 kind of stored tools, as it says. Our people have tools for now, but they will burn through them. In fact, it just went down to 17. Oh no! So anyway, we are going to burn through those eventually, and I kind of want to get that going ahead of time. I have in the past, in some of my briefer runs, when I ran into that, it was kind of too late. I was like, oh, let me get the tool guy, and it took a minute to get that out and everything. So let's go ahead and get that started. Let's see here. It's going to be... I passed it, didn't I? There it is. We're going to get this going now rather than wait till the last minute. And let me think about this here. Let's see. Do I put it there or do I bring it over here? I think we'll leave it here next to the stockpile. It's definitely more efficient. He can quickly get what he needs out of the stockpile and come right back. And we'll just stick that right up against there. We've got 2 builders. That's cool. Now we can see that the woodcutter here has got this up arrow icon. And for those of you who don't know, what that means is when I click on it, you can see that we have a fuel limit. We're telling him to stop at 200, and we are currently at 219. And it may seem kind of weird, like, why don't you just want him to make as much as he can? But he would sit there and he would burn through all of my stored logs, and we're going to want to use that for other stuff. So having the limits is good, and by default, the woodcutter is set for 200. So with the up arrow, that means that he's now going to be out and about looking for something else to do in the meantime, and I'm totally cool with that. And let's see here. Now, one thing I didn't quite check when I put this down was the materials. I'm not sure, I mean, our materials are kind of low, but again, I want to get started on this early. See, we're at 16 now. And let's go ahead and pause time here real quick. We do have 3 laborers. Now, with the laborers, as you may recall, we've highlighted this area here. So they're supposed to be chopping down. It looks like we've got some wood here. That's cool. So that's going to be making its way to the stockpile, which is great. Definitely need to get more materials. Now, let's see. Stone, though. Stone is definitely a problem, and while they are, there is a little bit of that down here that I think has been selected. We're going to go ahead and have them gather some more of that. Let's see here. And we'll just do stone in this area. Okay. Get some of that going. So let's see here. Oops, I don't need to do that anymore. What do we have here? Just kind of looking through everything. We got 2 of 3 on hunting. The gatherer's at 2 of 4. Fisherman just has 1. So the fish doesn't turn out a ton of food, but I do like having that additional kind of option. Like I said before, it's a good place, at least I think, to throw additional people during the winter when food is kind of an issue. You know that you can throw some people over there. Now, right now, we're actually doing pretty good here already in spring, and we're over 1,000. So it's actually, I think that's pretty good coming into year 2 at those that volume of food. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So again, one of the other things I want to get down is a school in the near future. Right now, though, I'm kind of focusing on getting this the tool stuff in here. You can see now that we're kind of dropping out of stone here. I could certainly pull more laborers. I mean, I could have one of these guys just harvest really quick and pull them into the labor force. Let me think about this. I could pull a hunter as well, or a gatherer. You know what, let's pull the fisherman out for now, and we'll throw him into the labor pool, or by default he'll go there. And trying to get some more people on the gathering of materials. I may have selected too large of an area down here, and so they're really focusing on more on the wood, I think, than the stone. But I think we'll be okay. Again, we've got some room because I'm starting this early. You can see how this might be an issue if I were suddenly at 0 tools and going, oh no, let's get this blacksmith up, because they don't have the tools to do it. Everything's really slow, and yeah, that's a problem. So I'm glad we're kind of getting on this. We're getting on this early. And we'll get to the school at some point. some point in the near future. Now, one of the things I may end up doing is putting a stockpile down here. We've got the stockpile here. You can see it's a little over half full. This guy is not too crazy. And so if we had that down here, when they come down and they're gathering the wood and everything, they don't have to bring it all the way back up here. So it might be nice to put one down in this area. And we've got a little bit of an opening here too. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and continue this road a bit. And pan this out. And you can see we've got a lot of room to work with down here. And if we pan up into the northern area, we've got quite a bit to work with there as well. So that's good. Very good. And nobody working the fish area. That's okay. So where are we at? Late spring. Fields are coming along cool. Okay. You can see we've got all kinds of things in here. I really do want to get that trade outpost set up. And one of the things you can do in this game I think is really fun. It's kind of cool because it helps you plan things out a bit. Let's see, we want the handshaky one. Where's that one? The handshaky one. That's the technical term for it. There it is. The trading post. Let's see. I know I was kind of playing around with this earlier about where to possibly put it. So I could put it here too and get a road up there. But I'm hoping that this is an okay spot. I know that he comes down the actual river versus this stream. And so I think something like this would work. I'll try to get this in close here. I think that'd be a good spot. But, so what I'm getting at, or what I was trying to get at before I forgot here, was we can actually select this and hit pause. So this actually doesn't go into development yet. It's a nice way to kind of plan out your town. I actually experimented with that once. I started a new world, and I planned like every building out. I laid everything out and paused it all. Now, I didn't play that one long enough to check it out, but it was just kind of a fun little experiment. And I was doing it mostly just to kind of see, here's all the things I would need to think of, and can you really plan that far ahead? And I feel like you can. You just have these pause markers all over the place. But we're just going to kind of take it, one step at a time during this run. Okay. Coming into those early summer months, we've got this road here, so I could set up that stockpile. Let's see, 63%. It's not too bad. Looks like we had some stone coming in, and it does look like they're getting to that. So this stockpile will fill up pretty quickly, sooner than I usually expect. Let's see here. I could put this right up next to the building. We'll do that. And of course, I'll have to chop down the tree and kind of get that stuff taken care of. And then we may end up sticking one of the storage barns down here as well. We're at 35%. It seems like there's room, but I like to gather a lot of food, and that takes up a lot of space. Within the first couple of years, I can definitely fill up a storage barn. So kind of think about that. Okay, let's click on this guy here. Still trying to get this stuff gathered. Let's see, iron 32, I think we're doing okay there. We now have 6 laborers. I could start working on some iron as well, and I do have stone out there a bit. There's a good amount of iron over there. Let's see if there happens to be... Yeah, I mean, we could gather some of the iron that's in this area. The stockpile's not quite ready, but it is underway. Let's go ahead and do that. But I won't do a lot of it just yet. I don't want to keep people too busy. Just kind of start with that. Okay, now I had dialed it back down the speed to 2 times. We're going to ramp this up a bit. 5 times because we're just trying to progress here, get this thing done. Get the blacksmith set up. Cool, so that's going to be done pretty quick. Then we'll be able to throw somebody in there and and get to work on the tools. And we could set kind of a low limit on there too and keep an eye on it. And I think this might be the next priority. Get the trading post set up. Now, okay, sorry, let's do this now that this has popped up. One, blacksmith. And then we can select, but we're going to go ahead and leave it on here, iron tools. So log and iron. That's what he's going to kind of step next door, grab the materials he needs, as you can see he's doing, and then he's going to run it over here and get to work. So that's cool. And we have the limit of 50 on this, but I really don't want him burning through all of that right now. Our needs are not that strong. We're going to set this to 10. Maybe 15. So he'll make sure that it gets up to 15, and then he'll go on and do some other things, just like our woodcutter is doing right now. So, you know, I've got the stockpile set up here, and alternatively I could set up a market, and I think that's kind of a cool idea, but and let me kind of show you guys that. Let's see, that's gonna be let's see, this guy. So you can see it says used to provide a localized area for citizens to collect food, tools, and fuel. So, and this kind of takes up, I can actually set it out here and you can see how large this is. So it kind of acts like a stockpile, kind of a storage place. And I had considered putting that, kind of getting this made right away, but I think we'll wait. We've got the stockpile in the barn. We've got a stockpile. We could do another barn down here. And then what we could do is the market could end up going somewhere else. Maybe we put it over on the shore, or maybe it's something we put out here on this peninsula as we kind of expand. I think we'll hold off though. I think we'll hold off on that. So let's see. Our fields are doing quite well. So he's already harvesting. Looks like everybody's getting to harvesting right now, which is cool. Early autumn. Doing pretty well. You can see our food here sitting at 1700-ish. And let's see, stone, iron. It does take a good chunk of stone to do this. But I want to get this going. So you know what, let's go ahead and unpause this guy. We do have 2 builders. We'll pull in 1 more. Leave 4 laborers. And let's click back on this again. 82 wood, that's about half of what we got now. So that's not bad. Stone is going to be an issue though. Let's see, let's go ahead and gather this stuff that's nearby. Not a ton of it there. Now one of the things we'll end up setting up is a quarry to kind of generate stone that way. But if I recall correctly, the suggestion is to keep the quarry far away from your people because it's loud and noisy and it contributes to their unhappiness. So let's see, that building is this guy. You can see it has a very long road line there. So we could do something like this, but it's a little too close to the homes and everything we have here. We'll end up probably sticking this somewhere else. This is kind of cool because it's surrounded by mountains, so maybe this is a good spot for it. I don't know that the mountains literally help mechanically in the game, but it's kind of nice. Kind of thinking thematically about it. Sticking it in there might be a cool idea. And then we'll have no homes maybe on, you know, anywhere near here. And of course, if that's the case, we can just really take all the trees and stone and everything out of there. Go gather all that up. Trading post is coming along well. It's good to see. Okay, so already you can see our tools are at 15, so our blacksmith is off doing other things, running around helping where he can. Which is good. We're going to kind of leave it that way. And once we get enough resources coming in, once we really get enough wood and everything coming in, and we've got a lot of it, we can up those limits. And of course, obviously, we'll be growing the population and everything. So, okay, late autumn. So winter is coming up soon, and you can see that we have a lot of food, which is awesome. That's very cool. 25 population, so we're pretty much sitting at where we were last year. So we should be pretty good. Now, like I said, I really want to kind of start this off slow here in year 2, going into 3. And, you know, we'll start to ramp it up. But I want to kind of build a nice foundation first. Make sure that we've got everything going pretty well. pretty smoothly. We'll get in here and upgrade these roads. You can throw down stone, which these guys move a lot faster along. So basically, the villagers here, they look at where they're at and where they're going, and then they determine whether their speed on the road is going to, you know, make up for maybe some kind of shortcut. You'll see them kind of shortcutting through the buildings and stuff here. So you can kind of set paths up that way. There's even a tool in here, let's see, and I don't recall using this a whole lot. Let me pause time. The trade post is up. That's cool. We can hit this guy and look at paths. Let's see here. At least I thought it indicated. Maybe we have to have this running. Let's see. Huh. That's interesting. I thought this actually put up a... I seem to recall a visual indicator on there before. Let's see. So we have to click somebody. There we go. That's what I needed to do. Cool. So you can see the path to where these people are and where they're going. So you've got this guy here, working the fields. I'm like, what do these guys do? Nothing? And these guys coming all the way down here, so that's cool. So you could see, like, by clicking through some of these areas where the really common paths are, and then you can account for that, you know, with a road. So if there were a lot of back and forth, you could go in there and go with stone to make it even better. So let's kind of cruise over here. Now, right now, you can see we've got a good chunk of food. What I'm going to do is wait through the winter. We knew we were a little over 2,000. And as I mentioned before, you use the trading post to kind of store these materials you see here. So when I select limits, as long as I've got a trader up here, right here, that person will go gather those things from the stockpiles from the barn and move them into the trading post so that they're available to trade with. If they're not in there, then when the tradesman comes, there's going to be nothing to trade with. But I want to look at food. That's usually the thing you have a ton of. And we want to make sure, you know, as we get through the winter and everything, we kind of want to see where the food went. Now, if we come out the other side of this and we're barely down, let's say we're at 1,500 and we knew we were at 2,000. So we know we're using 500-600 somewhere in there. So, you know, I might put in maybe a couple hundred and know that there's still a lot of room left. And then we would slowly increase that over time. We'll see how that goes. Okay, now we don't have a lot of labor projects going on at the moment. We're at 5, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some people back into this. The foresting, you can see we were down to nothing there. Let's see, what's going on here? Oh, sorry, the gather. I think the forester, but it's the gatherer that I've got. So we do have 2 of 4, which is fine. And I think we will throw a forester down here. Gathering the hunting. I did read somewhere it's more efficient to only use half of the capacity, to use 2 instead of 4. So anyway, I think we'll kind of stick with that on that. And let's go ahead and get this building set up. Let's see. It's going to be this guy. I'd like to get an automated source of wood coming in here. I think in my mind I kept thinking that's what we were doing, but we had the gatherer, which is great. Gathering food and everything. You can see we're in early spring. We made it through the winter and are doing very well. Very well on food. I'm going to actually go ahead and pause time here. And let's see. What do we have good chunks of? So venison is definitely a thing, and pepper. Let's do that. And so again, we had, I'm looking at this, we have about 600-ish, 500-ish. So let's go in here, and for venison, we're not going to go too crazy. We're just going to say 100. And we'll go 100 on pepper. And nothing else we really have a ton of. I mean, pumpkin, I could put like 20 pumpkin, 30 pumpkin. The reason it's kind of nice to even just put a little bit is you don't know the value that one of the tradespeople will place on it. So I could put 20 pumpkin and it could be worth well more than maybe the venison and pepper. So it just kind of depends. When they show up, it kind of shows you what they value that at. So I like to have a little bit of, you know, a number of different things in there. Roots we could put in. Onions. From what I recall, onions never seem to do that well for me. Nobody wants onions. But we could stand to lose a little bit of those. Onion and mushroom. So let's just go ahead and put 20, and then we'll throw a trader in to kind of start moving that stuff back and forth. start stocking that up, because who knows when that guy is going to show up. Now in the event log down on the bottom, I believe it doesn't like blue text. It says the trader has showed up or something like that. But anyway, we're definitely getting low on wood. Let's come back down here. They're making the Forester Lodge, which is great. But we also have some laborers. Let's pause this. I think we have laborers. They probably don't have anything to do. The last thing I defined was some stone down here, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like they're all set. So let's go ahead, and I think what we'll do is we're just going to clear this whole area right here. Although, that being said, I always felt like if you took all of the forest out where a hunting cabin was, it wouldn't do as well. I don't know if that's actually the case. It may not matter at all, but I just think in realistic terms, I'm like, the deer like a forest. I mean, if this were all clear cut out, I don't know. But I don't know. It probably doesn't matter. And when we get this guy set up, you can see its reach out here. And then what we can do is, you know, I think by default, actually, it's set to not only cut trees, but to plant them. So we'll have that to kind of make up for it. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get a good chunk of trees cut down. Actually, I don't even have the road continued through to the trade place there. So let's do something like this. Get a bunch of these trees cut. And because I don't think I did this, I should get over to that road. Okay, trees are coming right down. Unfortunately, my stockpiles are a bit spread apart from this, but that's cool. We'll get this cleared out, and then it'll make it a lot easier to start putting in. We could do more homes. We could kind of expand towards the water and up in this direction as well, and then move away from things like the blacksmith and the quarry that will be over here. Kind of do industry on one side, residential on the other. Maybe farms, kind of separating them out. Now, tools tend to be a pretty good value in here as well. And the cool thing is I can actually kind of come in here and say, let's put in 10 tools. And then we know that our guy is going to make up for it. And you can see right now he's really got nothing going on. Granted, he will start going through the wood and iron to make that happen. But that just means we'll have to be a little bit more diligent about hunting that down. So I think we're going to kind of do that. Let's kind of focus on that real quick. We'll get some iron. Obviously, there's a little bit there. Let's see. Yeah, we got that. Okay. And then we'll take any iron that's in this area here, which is not much. And knowing that, then we'll go ahead and try this side. We can see a few there. Still not a whole lot. So now we'll also go ahead and select some of this. And again, I could actually tell them to collect everything, but that just adds a whole lot of time gathering stone and wood, so we're not going to do that. Not going to do that. Cool. Pausing time here. Let's set up a forester. We're pulling from the labor pool to do this, but that's alright. Let's see. Go ahead and do 2 there for now. Cool, that's kind of the other nice thing too about having the trading post and pulling some material out. We kind of make some more room in our stockpiles and everything. And obviously if there was some kind of issue, you know, where we had some major shortage all of a sudden, you can blank these out to 0, and as long as you've got the trader, he'll come actually pull this back out. Because you're basically saying, I don't want any in here. Yeah, these and the farmers are actually going to be freed up into labor here shortly. They're going to go to harvest this stuff. Now, I think I want to double check. Or I should say, I don't think I can do an orchard yet. Let's see. Where was the orchard? This guy. Because I don't think I have anything. I'm actually going to pause and hold on a second. I'm gonna designate an area for the orchard, but I don't think I can actually do anything with this just yet. Oh, I do have apple. Okay, let's go ahead and get this going. Okay, now the thing I don't remember is, do we have somebody specific for an orchard, or are they just considered a farmer? It's a farmer. You can see we're 4 of 5, so we could ramp that up by 1. Cool. And then we could do a pasture, but as far as I know, unlike the farm and the orchard, you can't do these until you actually have an animal. I don't have any animals right now, but that is something you can get from the tradesman. Now, I may end up putting it down anyway, just to, for 1, to designate the area, and 2, just to double check. In fact, we have it open, so we might as well do that now. Let's do that here. Why not? Okay, that has to be built. Let's go ahead and pause that. I'm pretty sure that you don't ever start with an actual animal, so that has to come later. So we won't worry about constructing that yet. We're low on materials. We got other things we're trying to do. So, and you are cutting and planting. Yes, excellent. Okay. Let's go over here. We have the tools have already been moved over. Let's go ahead and let the trader come back into the labor pool, because we're not moving anything else right now. And you can see we're already at 12 of the tools. He's back in here, or she rather. She's back in there working on tools and everything. Oh, who's working here? I guess it was this guy. It looked like she was working there, but he just took off into the woods. There he is, roaming around, trying to get work done. Or he's getting something to eat. Something like that. Okay, what are we at? We are still at 25 population. Now, we can look through these homes, and you can see we've got plenty of people in these things. So, it might be a good point to throw another house out. The food has been doing okay, so that's not bad. Now, we are going to run out of clothes, which can be a problem, for sure. So, that's kind of... I'm going to actually go ahead and pause time here and consider this. So, like tools, we do need to make sure we have clothes. Clothes are a little bit easier to get from the trade merchants that come through, but it would be kind of nice to do that ourselves. And at this point, it might be a good time to do another house and kind of increase the population, get some more people going, because of course they have children, but those children have to age. They're not workers yet. You can see we have 4 here, but they are not laborers yet, so they're not really doing much for us. Point is, it takes some time to ramp them up to be workers, so it's probably something we should be considering now. Let's go ahead and get a house in here. Should I do 2? Let's see. We got wood and stone is going to be the issue. Right now, though, we're actually not building anything. Tools are being made, but that's using iron, not stone, and the wood is okay. 16 is not bad. We're going to go ahead and do 2 homes while we're here. And I'm going to just go 2 builders. I'm not in a big rush on that. So if that takes them a little bit of time, that's cool. It gives us more laborers. And I think what we're going to do is get people gathering some more material, because I think they've probably run out of tasks to do out here. Okay. Let's clear out the wood that's here. And the stuff that's nearby here. Not too much. And more stone would be nice. We've got some of that hanging out in this area. Let's just go ahead and start clearing this stuff out east and west of the road. And we'll just go ahead and do the same with any iron that might be in here, and we'll see. Not much. Okay, so iron we're going to have to hit. Let's double check this. Nope, that's fine. We do have some out here. Okay, so our laborers have things to do. Let's see if we can maybe... That is a lot. Food is not bad. We could pull into the gatherer. That's okay, though. Hunter's fine. And since we're going for wood, let's just go ahead and pull one more in as a forester. Now, an herbalist is going to be the next thing I think we want to go after. Definitely would be a good idea. So I think that's what we're going to do here in the near future. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I think herbalist might be the next building we go for. We're going to have, obviously, the more workforce here in the near future. And we're going to let the laborers go for a little bit. We've got plenty of tasks for them to do, so let's just let them do their work for now.